I was staying happily with my family in Sharjah in a one-bedroom flat when we decided to move to a bigger house. After days of research in newspapers and the internet, we finally managed to locate a house which is in the outskirts of Dubai, in which rent was dirt cheap as compared to other villas in the same vicinity, considering the fact that the rents had gone down in recent years. We personally saw the house, and my wife and children loved it as it was a 3-bedroom villa with a huge lawn and an ample parking space with a swimming pool. But I was somewhat feeling fishy about the house the moment I entered. After finalizing the deal and signing the agreement, we all moved to the villa, and the first 3 weeks went in setting up things. It was after the first few days, things started to take an ugly turn with a series of events that followed. I and my wife used to sleep in one bedroom and our kids in the other. It was a Friday night when the first incident took place. I and my wife heard loud screams from our children as they barged into our room, terrified and sweating profusely. They were so terrified that it took us almost half an hour to calm them down. When asked, the children told us that they saw some shadow on the wall which was seen hanging from a ceiling fan and was moving like a pendulum. At that time, we did not believe them and told them it must have been a bad dream, but the children were reluctant to go and insisted to sleep in our bedroom. On the same day, both the children were struck with high fever and it lasted for a week. The second incident was at the swimming pool when we were having a night swim during the summer heat. I was sipping my beer and watching the children play with my wife. Suddenly, I saw my wife screaming on top of her voice. The children was also equally terrified. I immediately rushed to check what was wrong, and my wife was in a complete state of shock which made her unconscious. After some time, when she gained consciousness, my wife told me that she felt two hands grabbed her legs and tried to pull her into the deeper section of the pool. This was amplified when I saw the imprints of 5 large fingers over her calf muscles on both the legs. Things were just getting out of hand, and we finally decided to call a priest to do some purification. The moment the priest entered the house, he could sense that the house had a spirit that died of unnatural causes. He chanted his prayers, sprinkled some holy water, and things seemed to come back to normal, which was only a temporary solution. One night, when we were sleeping, we could hear an elderly couple argue in Arabic, which was coming from my children's bedroom. However, the kids were fast asleep in our bedroom, and I asked my wife not to leave them, and I went myself to see what was happening. I opened the door slowly and was shocked to find out no one was in the room. But the argument was getting louder and uglier. And then I decided to take my wife and children and rushed out in the middle of the night. And as we rushed out, we both could hear a very loud woman scream. And then there was pin drop silence. We spent until dawn in our car, and then we approached the owner, and after too much of an argument, he told us that he had leased the house to a couple who lived for quite a few years. They used to often have an argument due to financial issues, and one fine day, the man murdered his pregnant wife and killed himself by hanging from a ceiling fan. We immediately vacated the place and shifted to another house. No wonder the owner was giving the villa at a dirt cheap rate.
Welcome once again to another Horror Live. My name is Desmond, and you are watching the SYWK Horror Live. Welcome once again. I will just message my co host. Hi, I have already started. So, yes, I am waiting for my co host. Her name is Swati Rao, and in tonight's episode, we are going to talk about haunted hospitals. Before we begin with the live stream, if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously you are watching this on YouTube, then there is a question which is flashing on your screen. And the question is, name the haunted hospital in India. If you know the haunted hospital in India, then please put that in the comments. If you do not know, then wait till the end of the stream. I will be revealing and I will be telling you some creepy facts about the haunted place. The most haunted hospital, sorry, not even a place, the most haunted hospital in India. So, yes, whoever is there live, you can please comment below and say hi, I am present or XYZ, whatever, and let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me. My audio is fine, my video is fine, everything is fine. So I'll be waiting for Swati to join in. Meanwhile, I will start with some haunted hospitals around the world. So there is an article. The article is, let me this get the article, the most haunted, yes, the haunted hospitals in the world. It's very simple. I just put it on Google, and whatever I get, the first thing I get, I will be reading. Sorry for the delay. But if Swati, if you're watching this, the link is there in the comments. I have put the links in the comments, so you can just join in. Yes. Sorry, people. Too much. Everything I need to do back end also. I have to see. I have to send the link also. A lot of things to do, but yes, this is the link in. This is the link in the comment. Please bear with me for 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. I just need to pin this video. Give me 2. Yes. So this is the pinned comment. This is the link of the stream. So if you'd like to join in, then please feel free to join in. This is mainly for Swati, but if anyone else also would like to join in, then please join in. And if you'd like to share anything, if you'd like to share ghost stories or anything, then please feel free to join in and share your story. The link is there in the pinned comment. So please click that link and feel free to join in. So we are going to discuss about the haunted hospitals in the world, the haunted hospitals in the world. So till Swati does not come, I will start. There is a hospital called as the Royal Hope Hospital in USA. Now, whatever information I'm giving you is on the basis of this website called as nurselabs.com. Okay, I don't know how far the stories from this website is true, but it is mine. It's my duty. Yes, it's my duty to keep you informed. And please do not believe everything whatever we say on the stream. This stream is only for entertainment purpose. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the Royal Hope Hospital in Florida, USA. Now let's read this whatever it says in the article. First on the list is a hospital located in Florida, USA. Known to many, but its gruesome history. Royal Hope Hospital was a Spanish military hospital from 1784 to 1821. First of all, let me know in the comments, is the background music too high or should I keep it that way? I'm not sure because I cannot do the sound test right now. But yeah, as I spoke, the first on the list is the Royal Hope Hospital, Florida, in USA. And it was a Spanish military hospital from 1784 to 1825 and was eventually demolished through time. See, a lot of old hospitals, especially what I feel is the mental hospitals, can be more haunted. But what I feel is all the hospitals in the world, new ones or old ones, according to me, are haunted because there's a morgue. People die there every hour, maybe every second, also, you never know. And people deal with death with post-mortem. So, hospitals in general are extremely haunted. Let me know in the comments if you know any stories about any specific hospitals, or if you have any information. Then I will really love to know. Love to know that, because Tuesday Horror Live is more about conversations. It's just that, more about conversations, talking about this, researching about it, debating about it. Sundays, which I do, the late night horror show, is just for you guys to listen to stories. But Tuesday, tonight, is only conversation. So if you like this format, stick around. And towards the start of the stream, I had asked you guys a question. The question is, which is the most haunted hospital in India? In fact, not a lot of hospitals are recorded in terms of that it is haunted in India, but there is one haunted hospital. I'll give you a hint. It is from West Bengal. Please don't Google it, but if you know, then you let me know in the comments. If you don't know, it's okay. I will tell you towards the end of the stream. So let's talk about this, which is the Royal Hope Hospital, was a Spanish military hospital from 1784 to 1821, and was eventually demolished through time. Finally, okay, finally, I was just reading, and finally, Swati Rao joined. So I will be getting Swati Rao in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Hello, hello.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. How are you doing? How is everybody doing?
Everyone is fine. I'm also doing fine. Here in Oman, it has started to rain. There's a lot of thunder, and it's a perfect night for
Ghost
horror.
stories.
Yes, ghost stories and horror stories and whatever. So yeah, I already started, and the topic for tonight's stream is haunted hospitals in India. I have asked to everyone, whoever is watching this, and the question is there on your screen. You can see it, which is
Mm-hmm.
the most haunted hospital, or the only hospital recorded in India. So I will be revealing the answer towards the end of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
But Swati, do you have any idea about this?
Of course, I did a episode on my podcast about this hospital sometime back. It's an old episode. It's a
Okay.
hospital in Bangalore. But I won't reveal it. Once you finish yours, I'll get into mine.
Okay, yes. But the thing is, now you told me that it is in Bangalore, but the one which I'm talking about, it is in West Bengal. So yes, we have two now haunted hospitals in India. So we will talk about it, but towards the end of the stream. Do you have any list of any haunted hospitals? Because I have one website which I have just opened. The website's name is nurselabs.com, and I
It's a
was
website that lists haunted hospitals?
yes, and the and
Oh
the web,
my god.
and the website's name is nurselabs.com. I just typed on Google top haunted hospitals in the world, and this was the
How many hospitals are haunted that you need a website for it?
now for everything there's a website.
Oh my god. That means there should be something like top10gins.com.
Yes, there might be. You never know. 110%.
Oh my god.
Now for everything there is websites, and the funny part is nurselabs.com. So
That's what I was saying.
maybe,
It doesn't make sense, no? Nurse Labs is not connected to haunted hospitals.
but hospitals and nurses are the ones who might be experiencing. Uh,
Haunted hospitals? Yeah, yeah, that's true.
yeah, so you never know. So I was talking about the first one which is there on the list. It is the name is Royal Hope Hospital in
Okay.
USA, and majority.
India though?
Sorry,
Aren't we
what?
doing the India though this step today?
Yeah, we are doing, but I just thought to start before because you did not come, so I just thought to start with something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Continue, continue.
To be honest, okay, what I will do is you have the India list, right?
I mean, it's not an India list. I covered one hospital because I'm from Bangalore and I visited this hospital. It's still functional. So I
Okay.
did a podcast episode on that. So I thought I will speak about that hospital.
Okay, so what I will do is I will just read about this specific hospital, which is the Royal Hope Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a story related to haunted hospital, and then the third thing is we can talk about your episode which you covered, and the fourth thing will be I will reveal the answer of the haunted hospital which I am talking about, which is in West Bengal, and I'll give some facts about that as well. So
Sure, sure, sure.
we
Before that, I wanted to ask, did you
yeah.
guys have your last week stream?
No, I did not. I did not have the last week stream.
Oh, so we are meeting after 2 weeks on live. Okay.
Yes, I did my late night horror show. Your episodes were played, was aired. That's it. But Tuesday it gets complicated because if no one is there and if I'm just talking to myself, then people will think that I'm mad. So it's better I have a co-host.
Okay.
And yeah, and also talking about co-host, there are a couple of more updates which I wanted to give everyone. So there is a guy called as Aviral. Okay, so Aviral has put out a message for me and whoever is part of SYWK podcast that he would like to help in terms of maybe just a team member or whatever you can say, a moderator or whatever. So he has said that he will be helping, especially he will be helping in terms of researching some stories, and he is also a writer,
Oh, lovely.
not by profession, but he has the passion of reading and writing. So
Mm-hmm.
when I spoke to him, he asked me what help I can offer. So I told him that yes, you can research some stories XYZ, but the main thing is that you need to focus on yourself, which is writing, and he needs to start writing. And when the stories will be given to us, we will be narrating it on my channel, and even Swati is free to take the stories, and we will be obviously giving credits to Aviral. So it's going to be Aviral original stories where it will be narrated by us. I had asked him that if he himself can narrate it, but he is not that confident. So I said, not a problem. We can do that, and we can try to help him out in that way. So his writing skills also will improve, and we will get original stories as well from him.
Okay, lovely.
So
That's nice. He can. I
yeah,
mean, he can. This is a much needed area of help that we need.
yes. So soon or later, there will be a series or a playlist where it will be our original stories narrated by us. So yes, this was one thing. Second thing, now I am not a Gen Z. Okay, and I am confused by one thing. So now I think so. Last Thursday I uploaded a reel. So now what I'm doing is every day I'm uploading a reel on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, XYZ. So on Instagram, randomly one reel went extremely viral where it is around 100 something, like it's still I'm still getting notifications, people are liking, sharing this XYZ. But in the comments there were a lot of, first of all the comments were funny. Second thing was, uh, everyone, at least out of 100%, at least 30% people were commenting called as smash. Now, me as a Gen Z, I don't. Sorry, me as a millennium, I don't know what is the meaning of smash. I try to Google it, but I'm not getting a proper answer. So if Swati knows it, then let me know. If you guys know what is the meaning of smash, if any Gen Zs are watching this, then please let me know because I really need to understand. Because Someone commented smash, and then I replied, said smash harder. Now, again, I got some response, that they were laughing and they liked that comment. So I really don't know what is the meaning. By any chance, Swati, do you have any idea about what is the meaning of smash?
I don't think that can be, that's a censored thing. I don't think that's appropriate to be discussing on horror live. So, what I've heard of Gen Z lingo is smash or pass. And smash is like, they want to get laid, or pass is like, okay, they don't want to get laid with this person.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's what I've seen online from. Remember, I'm not a Gen Z, I'm millennial. I can only tell you what I've read. So usually what they do is like, for celebrities, they'll keep looking at multiple celebrities irrespective of gender, male, female. And then
Hmm.
it's like smash or pass, smash or pass. Smash is yes, they want to get laid by this person. Pass is like no, they don't.
Oh, okay. And I replied like a fool saying smash harder.
Oh my
So
god.
So if you guys have not watched the reel is there on my Instagram account, and it's about one girl who's been possessed, and there is a priest, and there are two, three other people, and there's a cameraman who's kind of investigating and doing the exorcism, and then I have shared that reel. So if you have not watched it, then please go and watch it, and please read the comments. Maybe I'll do a small episode about only showing you that reel and then reading the comments, because it's really, really funny. I never expected that people would be so funny about it. And then, sorry, I'm going off topic, but there was one comment where someone said that if you read Hanuman Chalisa, then
Mhm.
things can get better for this woman XYZ. Then uske upar people have started commenting why Hanuman Chalisa. People can read the Quran and people can read the Bible and this that and all. I said, Baba, ये क्या हो रहा है ये comments में? I don't know what is happening, but whatever happened, it happened good because I got a good reach and good engagement, so I was happy. But I just commented, just spread love. Please don't fight about all these small small things, because in the comments it's terrible. More than the reel, more than the video, the comments are scary. So if you really want to get terrified, then please go and read the comments. So yeah, let me go ahead and just talk about this specific uh, hospital. The hospital name is Royal Hope Hospital, and it is based in Florida, USA. Now, I really don't know why that whenever you research about anything related to paranormal, haunted hospital, haunted house, or haunted car, or haunted tree, also, if you research, then
US is the
it,
first country that will show
yeah,
up.
it just lands up to US, and I feel the whole country itself is haunted, and there are very few spots where normal people are living. Otherwise, the whole country is haunted. This is according to me. So let me read what it says. So it says first on the list is a hospital located in Florida, USA, known to many by its gruesome history. Royal Hope Hospital was a Spanish military hospital from 1784 to 1821, and was eventually demolished through time. See, I don't know about military hospitals or in general a normal hospital, but according to me, if you if you categorize the hospitals, according to me, the mental hospitals would be the most haunted hospitals to ever visit, because obviously the patients who are there are not in their senses, and when they die and when they become a spirit or when they become a ghost, they will make everyone's life a hell, because obviously, you know what, nature, what you have currently when you're living, that same and the same energy passes on when you die as well. So this is my thought, this is my belief that okay, this Royal Hope Hospital is a military hospital, but according to me, in the list, mental hospitals are more crazier. Even if it's not haunted, and if you just go to a mental hospital, it's more creepier, because there was at least, you can say, during my school days till my college, I lived in a place called as Vasai Naigao, and that place is so familiar to me that I know each and every corner of that place. But this place is in the outskirts of Mumbai, and everyone calls it as like a mini Goa because uh, it was ruled by Portuguese, and there are forts, and it's very beautiful. There are beaches as well. Obviously, it's not like Goa where you can drink everywhere, but yeah, it is a beautiful place. And we, as kids, used to go to school, college, this, that, XYZ, but we did not realize that there was one mental hospital which was run during the Portuguese time. And now, if you see, I wish I could have shared some pictures, but it's just ruins. Okay, but the problem is that, as I told you, that Vasai Naigaon is greenery and so much of green stuff is there that the mental hospital is just covered with trees. So you cannot even understand where is the proper location. And there were a couple of guys who, you can say, wanted to smoke up, and you cannot smoke up in a normal place. So somehow they found this place, and that is how a lot of people discovered that there was this mental hospital. And how we came to know, there were bunk beds, and on each bunk beds there were these chains which were kept at the edge of the beds. So obviously, after we researching this, that, and all, and then we went to the municipality, we tried to figure out what is this place and this and that and all, and that's how we came to know it was a mental hospital during the Portuguese time. The creepy part is that the beds were so close to the other beds, and there were no ventilation, there was no sunlight, this, that, and all, because it was just packed. Even the windows had chains and locks which were rusted. So, according to me, yeah, mental hospitals are more creepier. Moving ahead, let me talk about this Royal Hope Hospital. Now, it was demolished in 1821, and then finally, a replica of the original hospital was built to house the victims during the war. However, when the city workers were about to repair the water lines and penetrated the area of the old building, they found out that the hospital was originally built on what appeared to be an ancient Native American burial ground. Paranormal experts once claimed that the place is a real breeding ground of haunted Florida souls and paranormal movements. And according to them, this sort of haunting inclines to be present in the zone where humans feeling and emotions was always forced at the time. So yeah, this was the first point, or the first hospital which I read. To be honest, I myself don't kind of believe in these articles because there is no fact only, there is no history only about it, or there is no proper information given about it. There was a Royal Hope Hospital which was demolished in 1821, and then there was a replica which was built. So quite confusing, but yeah, this was the first point. Now we will go to the next point where I have a story. Ah, let me read this. See, Aviral is joined. Aviral has come to Swati. This is Aviral. If you remember, he was the one who had shared the reincarnation story about Germany and XYZ. If you
Yeah, yeah,
remember,
yeah. The World War II bit where he was a soldier and all that.
Tatya Bichu is also there. Tatya Bichu and Aviral. So yeah, welcome Tatya Bichu and Aviral. And Aviral. So the thing is, Swati, now Aviral has asked us that what help he can do on the live. So I told him, you just join the live today as a viewer and just watch it and then give us suggestions, or maybe back end he can do something. Now, this was my suggestion to just sit and watch and see what can be improved and XYZ. If the audio is fine, video is fine, so then he can just message us. Do you have any specific suggestion where he can help us during the live?
Not during the live. I feel like doing the research earlier and we can put out stories and post saying that we are going to be talking about this topic on the live. That way more people will know and join. So we can start like promoting it earlier.
Yeah, that we will do it. And maybe Avinil, what you can do is, like for example, today was the there's a today the topic is haunted hospitals. So maybe you can send me some links or some facts or something, so that when we are on live we can go through that links and we can read it. So at least in terms of researching, it will be helpful. What do you say?
Are you asking me or who?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you
Ah,
will.
what you, yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah, that works. No? Tatya Bichu Singh Oja both session with Desmond. Arey Baba, I'm not dead till now. Once I die, then you have the session. Okay. Now, I have a story about this haunted hospital, but Swati, you will need to give me some time. So, what we'll do is, I will narrate the story after you cover your part, because I need to search that in my folder. So, if you can just take lead in terms of the stream and just speak about it, till then, I will search the story.
Okay, sure, sure.
I'll just be on mute, but I'm listening.
Got it. Okay. 1 second.
Anyways, whoever is watching it now and watching it later, please like the stream, subscribe if you're new to the channel, share it with a lot of people who enjoy horror lives, and with me, my co-host is Swati Rao, who has her own podcast channel called as Desi Horror Podcast. So yes, over to you, Swati, in terms of the haunted hospital.
Okay. So the hospital I will be speaking about is already out on my podcast. It's a very old episode, so you can go back on Desi Horror and check it out. And for those who have not listened to the episode, it's actually a pretty good thing because I'm going to give you the details today. So in Bangalore, there's a very famous hospital called the Victoria Hospital. It was actually set up by the British, and that is why the name is retained, the Victoria Hospital name. And it's a fully functional hospital till date, and it's also a hospital that is very popular. It's been renovated now, so you have an old wing and you have a new wing. And I have personally visited this hospital many, many times because it's in the center of the city. So let me give.
Uh,
Yeah.
Swati, 1 minute. What we can do is, instead of you reading the complete, you're reading from somewhere, right?
No,
From
right now I'm only speaking. I haven't started reading.
Okay, so instead of you only talking, we will have a conversation. So you say something, 1 2 points, and then I can also say. I don't want to break your flow, but I want to have it more in a conversation style, if it's
Sure, but
okay
you
with
said you want me to continue while you do something, no?
you. Yeah, I kind of got the story, but now since it is more a conversation based stream, you say something and then maybe I will have questions. So I will ask you questions in the middle as well.
Got it. Okay. So anyway, I haven't gone too ahead, so I'm just giving the basic information that why is this hospital called Victoria Hospital, which city it is in, and again, it's been renovated, so you have an old wing and you have a new wing. And I personally visited this hospital many times because it's in the middle of the city. It's in MG Road in Bangalore.
And it is still functional as of now.
It's still functional as of now, and in fact,
Right.
very recently also I visited this hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, so now you have to know when this hospital opened or when it was built. The hospital was actually built in 1893,
Hmm.
which is very, very old looking at the time frame.
1893. Oh
Yes,
my.
1893, and it was temporarily located. in a particular building, and then in 1900 it was transferred to a new building. So the actual timeline when Victoria Hospital was opened was 1900.
This was during British time, or this was
Yeah, British
before
time.
British?
That's why I mentioned. That's why it's called Victoria Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, 1900. And this
Hmm.
was also built during the reign of the Maharani of Mysore time. So in Bangalore, in
Hmm.
Karnataka, I mean, in the state of Karnataka, the king used to rule over the state, and that was the king of Mysore. So the British was also present at that time, and the kings were also ruling at the time. So it was built during the reign of the Maharani of Mysore time.
Hmm.
And then I think you know the basics, in the sense the whole British rule, and then you have the Indian Maharaja rule, all of that. So we don't have to get into that, but you should know when it was built and who was in power at the time. Now, when you look
Okay.
at the way the hospital is built, if you could, if can you take up a Google image so our users can see it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing that only.
yeah, you can just put Victoria Hospital, Bangalore, to show up.
Yeah. It's a quite old construction building, and I think so. This has been used in couple of movies as well, right? I've
Looks
kind of,
like it. That's probably because the British had many buildings like this.
yeah. It looks like I have seen this. Let me know if you can see it right now because I've shared the screen.
No, I cannot see it. Now I can. You have to click on one and enlarge.
Uh,
Yeah, so
Now
now
can
you
you
can
see?
see it, and you can see that it's a good setting for a horror movie also.
Yeah, I think so. There are some movies which have been shot in this place. Yeah, you can
So
go ahead.
basically, the construction of this hospital is in the Gothic style. So that is how they describe the construction style, which is basically stone buildings retaining the original structure, which is built on a pavilion system. So basically, this is how British buildings were built at that time. It was called the Gothic style, and you can see that they've still retained it.
That is the interesting part.
Yep, that is actually interesting that they didn't break it down. Instead, they
Hmm.
renovated it and they have a new building right next to the old one.
Hmm.
Now, let me give you some interesting facts about the hospital, which I'm assuming may not be in other hospitals, or at least I've not seen it in other hospitals. One is there is a library that can be accessed by patients and their relatives.
And what kind of library is this?
A regular library, they have medical books, regular books, like a normal library, but more
Okay.
medical books.
Okay. So
Because
is this only a hospital or there is like students who come to study as well, like
there are
MBBS and
students who work here
yeah.
as interns, which is why they have the library with medical books.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so this library can be accessed by patients and their relatives. And there is also an art gallery where all the paintings of the superintendents of this hospital are seen. And there's a huge portrait of Queen Victoria.
Hmm.
So they've retained even the art gallery.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And now comes the student part or the university part. So the hospital was associated with the university, where it's a teaching institution for the students of the Bangalore Medical College.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is how they have a lot of interns who come there and work, medical students who work in this hospital.
Hmm.
Now let's come to the main part. Now, you know the history of this place, you understand how it looks, you know the students, all of this. Now, coming to why we believe it is haunted, or from where these stories have come up. The
Okay.
stories that have started was originally started by postgraduate students, the ones who are working here. Why? Because they used to do night shift. Now, when they were on the night shift, several students, these medical students, they noticed people roaming around the buildings, and they could not place where these people are from. In the sense, these people were not patients, because they are medical students, they know who are the patients there. Obviously they cannot know the thousands of patients that are associated in the hospital, but every hospital will have different wings, right? This wing, that
Correct.
wing. So there'll be, these students were in a different wings, so obviously every student will know in their wing how many patients are there, because that is pretty much your job. And they noticed people who were not even part of that wing roaming around the hospital. And that is when this rumor started that the hospital is haunted, because there are several out of place characters that you will see in the night. That was
Ran-
refuted. Sorry.
randomly, they will be like kind of walking here and there.
They've seen them sitting around near the garden area, and some roaming around randomly.
Like, do you know, like, are they like students or like patients or some doctor or just normal?
No, no, no. They're just normal looking people, like patients. They look like patients, but they are
Okay.
not patients of the hospital.
Oh, maybe they were the patients who passed away, and
That's
the
the rumor, that that
hmm.
is what, that these could be the patients who have passed away, or these could be people who were here during the British time, and they've not moved on and they just roam around this property.
Oh my God, creepy that
And
is.
several of the postgraduate students, or several of these medical students, have claimed to see these people, because
Hmm.
they've been working. I mean, every time there'll be a new batch, right? And a lot
Yeah.
of batches have confirmed that they've spotted random people in the night.
Oh,
And
but
then there's also further incidents where, so basically, there was the security guards of this hospital. They claim that they have seen a woman at night, presumed to be the ghost of a woman who died several years ago. This is what the security guards claim.
okay.
And this has been proven wrong by the faculty, saying that that's not possible at all. They probably met some other woman, and there was a resemblance between this woman and maybe someone who died a couple of years ago. But the security guards claim that no, it's definitely the same woman.
Oh shit.
And the
So
funniest story is this, which I believe is false because it's just funny. But this is a funny story that has also been spoken about online. Uh, the ghost was a hungry ghost and stayed in the vicinity of the morgue. The ghost apparently ate up a packet of biryani. There was also a second ghost that haunted a tree above the spot where a tea stall stood. The way the ghost operated was that it would wait for postgraduate students on the night shift and drink up all the tea when they were not around.
the biryani ghost finally.
This is the biryani ghost.
Creepy. But like, is there any other incident, like a big kind of incident which happened, or this are just like different facts which you have about this
So these
hospital?
are different facts that I've seen online, but
Hmm.
keeping that aside, specifically for this hospital, these are the facts that I've read about. So keeping this aside, there's a different hospital which I've had personal experiences with. So that is called Philomena's Hospital. Philomena's Hospital is also in the center of the city in Bangalore. So I visited this hospital a few times. And
Okay.
Philomena's Hospital, this is back in the day when this happened. So
But I
back
have
in the
one question. I have one question before
Mhm.
you go ahead. Why are you visiting so many hospitals? That also very.
Good question. There are many old people in my family.
Okay. I thought maybe you're some businesswoman who is doing some business at the hospital or something. You know,
Wow.
going and taking the soul of the people and then going and selling the soul. Never know.
Very nice. Victoria Hospital, I went very recently because, like I said, I have old people in my family. And Philomena's, back in the day, I went because many people in my family gave birth.
Hey, Baba, hey.
So back in the day, this was probably in the early 2000s. This was when a lot of my cousins were born, and I was already like 12 years old by then, so it was normal for me to go and I mean, I was old enough to visit a hospital, being 10, 12 years old. And my cousins were all born in like 2003, 4, that time. And all of us used to go and visit. And this is like several times I've gone there, like 3, 4 cousins were born there. So the story at that time was that if people went in for a delivery, nothing would happen. It would just be like normal. You go for a delivery, you give birth, you come out. But if old people were admitted in this hospital, and this is just a rumor, I don't know how true it is for other people. This is only a personal experience. If old people from our extended family would go into Philomena's, they would never come out alive.
Oh, it's was a one-way ticket.
Literally one-way ticket. It became so common that whenever it was a delivery, they would say, "Ha, go to Philomena, go, go." But if there was somebody who had some issue like heart attack or back pain, knee pain, and they were above the age of 50, they would say, "No, whatever happens, you shouldn't go there." Because if you go there, you're not coming out.
You'll go with the walking with your legs, but you'll come out char kande pe.
Pretty much. And there was this one time, one of my extended family grandfathers, he had I mean, he had a stroke, and he had to be taken to the hospital immediately. Even though it was a critical situation, they were like, "No, no, no, not Philomena, not Philomena, because if you go there, you'll anyway die. So we'll take you to Victoria or some other place."
No, actually, it's not only in Bangalore, in Mumbai, Goa, everywhere. Even in this country, there are specific hospitals where someone has gone for a small treatment and something else only happened.
Mm.
Like, I remember there was my dad's friend. He was very well-to-do and he was happy, XYZ. And some pain he was getting in the back or something. But the thing is, where he used to work in the interiors of the country because he was working at the rig. So I really don't know exactly where he was working, but he was not in the city. He was in the interiors,
Mm-hmm.
and he called the hospital to get the report because obviously he cannot keep going and coming 100 times. So he went once, he did all his tests, and then the doctor said that call after 1 day or 2 days, and we will tell you whatever is your result. So this guy called, and there was some network issue. I really don't know what it was. He asked, "What is the results?" So he heard cancer, and he fainted there only, and he kind of like was in shock. Later on, when they brought him to the city, this, that, and all, because he told everyone in his workplace or whatever he has cancer, this, that, he has to go back to India, blah blah blah. When he comes to the city and he goes and he takes the report, actually it was ulcer in the stomach or something. It was that. So from ulcer to cancer, he misunderstood or he misheard whatever. I really don't know what it was.
Answer to cancer. Oh my God.
And he was so tense, but then finally he's okay now. Means nothing actually happened to him. So yeah, there are hospitals like that, which are quite
Yeah.
crazy.
They call the hospital of death.
Hmm.
And actually, I think the one of the main reasons why this rumor spread in my family was first, of course, a lot of old people who went there were passing away and everything. But
Hmm.
beyond that, one of this is again from a distant family person who claims that this is true. At that time, when all of this was going on, he claimed that so his father went in for. I mean, first of all, his father was not that old. He was in his 50s, and he went in for some that knee replacement surgery.
Hmm.
So he went in for something like that, and he passed away during the surgery because his body couldn't handle it, and then he passed away, which was very strange because he was in great health and everything. And the thing is, he didn't know because the doctors had not yet informed him. I think they were trying their best to revive him and everything, so he didn't know. He had come for the surgery and he left in between while the surgery was going on. It takes a couple of hours, and then when he came back to the hospital, he
Hmm.
saw his father.
Okay.
He saw his father in the room, in the hospital room, normal, like sitting normally, and he spoke to him, and he was like, "Oh, everything is fine." And then he left and then he came back. So basically, they take breaks, right? You come and go, you come and go.
Yeah.
When he came, it was like before surgery, like before prep, and everything was fine.
Mm.
Then he left. He came in the middle. In the middle is when the surgery was going on and everything. The thing is, the surgery had gotten over, but he thought the surgery is still going on because he met his dad in the room and everything looked fine. And then he
Mm.
left. When he came back, the doctors were like, no, no, his body couldn't handle it and he's passed away. And he was like, how can that be? First of all, it's a knee replacement surgery. He was not that old. How come he died? And second, I saw him, I met him. So how is he dead? So that is why he came up with
Oh.
that this is the hospital of death and everything, because he believed that he saw his father's spirit, except he didn't know it was his father's spirit. And second, that the hospital staff, I mean, it could be that the energy of the hospital is such that your life is being sucked away from you even when you're not supposed to die.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe that might be a blunder also where the doctors did not do a proper operation or they were not trained or this, that, and
Enough.
all. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there are a lot of cases, but I still feel and I still believe that hospitals in general, regardless if it is an old hospital or a new hospital, it is kind of a place where there is a lot of negative energy because uh,
There's so much
the
suffering and death, no?
yeah, and I feel in a day they might be getting so many cases, accident cases, and coma, cancer, this, that, and also the nurses and the doctors, especially the nurses and the ward boys and all who work throughout the day, might be having more stories, more experiences. And I wish if we could have got someone who's like a doctor or nurse or something could have told us stories. But yeah, there are a couple of stories which is coming in my mind as well. But before going ahead, if anyone likes reading, there is a nice book which I will just suggest because it just came in my mind. I'll just remove that book. Just 1 minute. The book's name is The Dead People Town, and it is sorry, Dead People Town, and it is written by Siddharth Nirwan. I have already interviewed him on my channel. This is a book about zombies, and it's the first zombie horror book I think so, which was published. And this is about a hospital in which there is some drugs which were being used on a particular patient, and that there was some reaction or overdose or whatever and side effects, and that's how they turn into zombies, and the whole hospital is locked down and xyz. It's a very interesting book. So anyone wants to read the book, then please go buy this book. No one has given me any money to promote the book. It's just that I like to promote people whoever is into the horror genre. So yeah,
Hashtag paid advertisement.
please, I hope they give some hashtag non-paid advertising. No paid advertising, no sponsors yet. But yes, soon, very soon. So yeah, read this. I have a very short story. It's a very interesting story, and this story is from Pune, Maharashtra. So now, if you know Pune, uh, the locals are Maharashtrians, and their main language is Marathi. So there is a specific government hospital which is in an old British kind of building, like how Swati was showing us about this Victoria. I was just going to say Victoria's Secret, but it is Victoria Hospital. So this is a similar kind of hospital which is in Pune. I really can't recollect the name. I've heard this story, and there is a movie also on this story. I do not have the complete information, and the story was being told a couple of years before. So, whatever I can remember, I will try to tell you. But towards the end of the story, I will tell you the movie's name, so you can watch it, and it's a very interesting movie. Uh, to start with the story, there is two main characters. So there is one father and there is a son. So let's name the father Aviral and the son's name Siddharth. So Aviral is the father and the son is Siddharth. Mother has passed away, so they both are there for each other. They love each other. And Siddharth is, you can say, 4 or 5 years old, and he loves to play cricket. And Aviral is doing everything. And they come from a very middle class family. So each and every uh, money what they earn is very valuable. So he tries to save a lot for his son. And his whole life, Aviral's whole life is dedicated to Siddharth. One fine day when Siddharth was playing a match, Aviral had gone to see the match, and Siddharth was playing professional, you can say, season ball cricket in Pune. But obviously, he was 4 or 5 years old, so under 10 or under 5 or whatever you call it. He was playing that tournament, and during the match, while he was running, he fell down and he collapsed. So now Aviral was extremely worried, so he didn't know what to do. And obviously, when a person collapses and he's not coming in conscious, they will take him to the hospital. Now, Aviral took him to this specific hospital first because it's a government hospital. Second, financially, they were not very strong to take him to a private hospital. And third, Siddharth was born in this same hospital. So he knew the doctors, he knew people there. So when he got admitted there, he was tensed and he was worried, like what is wrong with him. After a couple of tests and reports, and after a couple of weeks, he got to know that Siddharth has some kind of sickness where I really don't know what is the sickness, but I'll just make up the sickness. Maybe the heart is weak or something. I really don't know what was the sickness about. But Siddharth had a condition where he could live maybe max 3 years or 4 years more. So Aviral asked the doctors, can he be saved? Is there any possibilities? So the doctor said yes, there is possibilities, and we can do some operations, but obviously we will have to call doctors from the private hospital. Considering it is a government hospital, we can request them to do some kind of brain surgery or heart surgery, whatever. So he said okay, but now the doctors told him that it will take a lot of money for all this work to be done. That's 10 to 15 lakhs. Now, talking about this, Aviral told the doctors that, see, boss, I really don't have so much funds, max to max 50, 80,000 he had. That was his lifetime savings. So, you understand how financially broken they were. So, the doctor suggested that, you go to one place. It is like a community, or it is like an NGO, where if the parents don't have money, then they put an ad on social media. You all must have seen a lot of ads if you all run YouTube, especially in India. You'll see a lot of ads that this kid is sick or that kid is sick and you need money and XYZ. So they said, okay, you run the ad, and whatever money comes, we will give you. Now they ran the ad, this, that, and all. Now I would like to stop in this story, and I would like to tell you something interesting about this NGOs and about this community who runs ad and gets money from public. See, I don't know if they're doing a good job or they're doing a bad job, but this is charity, and whatever money is collected in charity should be used correctly. I will tell you what happens to Aviral and Siddharth, but this is something very important which I want to talk about. Uh, that, as far as I know, there was a case in my family where someone was sick and they used these services. And the reason why I call it services is because when they got the charity of 10 lakhs, out of that, there was some percentage which was being deducted and taken by this organization. I don't know. We will debate about this, me and Swati, after I tell this story. But this was the point which I wanted to tell. Because according to me, it's not right. But wait for the story to get over and then we'll talk about it. So moving ahead, they got the funds and the doctor said, okay, we will do the operation XYZ. Now the kid who is Siddharth had to be in the hospital for all the treatments and this and that and all, and they said that it is a 6 months process for the full treatment to get over chemotherapy, this, that, whatever the treatment they were supposed to do. So now, even though Aviral got the support financially, he had to go to work for other basic needs, for daily medicines or XYZ, whatever. So he used to go for work in the morning and then in the evening he used to come back, but then sometimes he used to go home to get fresh and XYZ. So there were a particular time in the night where Siddharth was left alone in the hospital. And that's when things started happening to Siddharth. So basically, as Swati was telling, this Victoria Hospital and this Pune Hospital is kind of similar in terms of the structure because there was one part of the hospital which was being used and another part which was abandoned, and there were boards which were outside saying that under construction. So basically, they were trying to renovate that part. And Siddharth's room was facing the under construction side, and the window in Siddharth's room, anyone who was sitting there could see the other side. So a lot of time when Siddharth used to wait for Aviral, his father, he used to just look out of the window, and when he used to look out of the window, he could see someone or something on the opposite side. Now Siddharth didn't know that part was under construction because obviously he was under medication. He didn't inquire about all this. He just came to the hospital and his treatment started. Only Aviral knew. And then after that, when Aviral came, Siddharth told him that, I seen someone there. He's become my friend. I'm giving out. Even he's a small kid, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So Siddharth was saying, I mean, Aviral was saying it's okay, you sleep. And he assumed, basically, Aviral assumed that maybe he is under medication, so he's just imagining things. So he ignored it, considering Siddharth was a small kid, so he ignored it. This went on for a couple of months where Siddharth, from the from his room where he used to say hi to the other person, somehow in the middle of the night he went and met that kid also 2 3 times. And Aviral, he did not understand what was happening because he used to be tired and he used to go off to sleep, or something or other used to happen where Siddharth used to get a chance to go and meet this person. And Siddharth kept telling Aviral also, I have made a friend, I have made a friend, I have made a friend. But Aviral thought maybe there are other patients, there are other kids also who are not well, so maybe he's talking about that. Now here comes the third introduction of another character, which is Dr. Anjali. So now Dr. Anjali is the uh, owner's daughter who is become a doctor, obviously. What am I saying? So the owner is also a doctor, but he has retired, and then he has opened this government hospital, like whatever you can say it. And then this Anjali, Dr. Anjali, has just joined in, and she's like the dean, and she's going to try and help everyone. So in this process, Anjali and Aviral kind of became friendly because Aviral used to spend most of his time there, and he kept asking what is the update in terms of my son's case XYZ. So they became very close, and then after one fine day, Aviral was just having a conversation with Dr. Anjali, saying that uh, my son Siddharth, he can, he's speaking to this person, this that person. What happened to this patient or that patient XYZ? So Dr. Anjali was wondering, like, I know all the patients. Which patient is Siddharth talking about? I really don't know. So that's when Aviral had a doubt, like now something is wrong because okay, the doctor cannot lie. and which patient is Siddharth talking about. Then after some time, Anjali and Dr. Anjali and Aviral go and speak to Siddharth, saying that, okay, who are you talking about, this, that, and all. And then Siddharth says, my friend, he's staying in the opposite building. He's also admitted. He's also like me. And in that process, basically, Siddharth was under treatment. Even he lost his hair because of the chemo, XYZ, whatever he was going through. And he said that he looks exactly like me. He's trying to help me, this, that, and all. And Anjali is now worried. Like, first of all, on the other side of the building of the hospital, there is no one. It is not functional. It is under construction. How can Siddharth see another person there? So they were very confused, and after some time, Aviral understood that something is not right because whatever his son was saying was kind of true. Because after some time, even Aviral started witnessing another person on the other side of the building. So it was very confusing, and he really didn't know what to do. Now I know the story has gone too long, but the reason why I told you in detail is because of the specific part, which is the end of the story. Finally, the end of the story is come. It was very confusing for Everell. He didn't know what is the truth, what is fake, or what is true, whatever. He assumed that it was another patient, but the reality was, one fine day, Aviral decided to go to the other side of the building to find out what is there on the other side and what is the reality. And when he goes there, he actually finds the small kid. At first, he thought that it was a ghost, but no, it was a kid who was locked there. And that is the shocking truth about the story, and I will tell you what actually happens. So, after a lot of investigating, the whole hospital, Aviral comes to know that this whole hospital is a scam. Nothing ever happened to Siddharth. Siddharth just had like a heat stroke and he fainted when he was playing a cricket match. And this hospital, with that organization, was running a scam where they used to say that the kid is not well and take money, and they should just do some fake treatment, and then after some time the kids used to die. Now the shocking part about the story is why the kids used to die is because of Dr. Anjali. Everyone thought Dr. Anjali is the best, but later on everyone came to know Dr. Anjali was a failed student who could not pass the MBBS or whatever you can call it. But she was so stubborn that she told her father, because her father was like an extreme high ranking doctor or whatever you can say. And Dr. Anjali's father loved her so much that he just opened this hospital for her. And whenever any operation used to be there, Dr. Anjali used to insist that I want to do it. But every operation used to fail and the kids used to die. And the dead bodies or whatever, they used to dump it either in the morgue or they used to dump it anywhere else if there is no proper family. Obviously, if family is there, then they will say that yes, this person died because of cancer or this, that, and also apparently, whichever kids, specifically kids used to come to that hospital, no one had any issues, but Dr. Anjali used to do all these operations and they used to die. Now, I told you in the middle of the story that when Aviral went to the other side of the building, he saw that small boy. He thought it was a real person, but it was not a real person. It was a ghost which Aviral and Siddharth both witnessed. I don't know why it only was seen by Aviral and Siddharth, but this was the story. I know it is a very complex story, But I will tell you the movie's name. The movie's name in there's a Marathi movie basically. It's called as Bali. So you go and watch it. It is kind of a horror movie, but it is a very good end of the story where they are talking about how the hospitals and this organization kind of rob people in terms of fake sicknesses and medicines and medication and blah blah blah. So yeah, that was the story. Uh, what someone told me, and then later on it became a movie as well. Because it's a very famous story in Pune, which actually happened, and this Aviral and Siddharth, caught this crime, what was happening in the hospital, and the hospital is completely uh, closed down as of now. So yeah, sorry, it was a very long story, but yeah.
Wow, oh my God. A full hospital being a scam is a bit much. I've heard of certain doctors who scam patients, and I
Hmm.
mean, these small clinics, and you
Yeah,
also have big hospitals, but it's an entire hospital running a scam is wow.
it was. It is quite interesting because
And I'm
and
shocked that people didn't notice this.
and the interesting fact, it was not like a big hospital. Obviously, in Pune, it might be in one small city, and only the poor who are like lower middle class used to go there because of the support what they used to get from the other organization. So maybe I'm not sure about how big the hospital was, but yeah, because the shocking part was about the main doctor who was like the dean, Dr. Anjali. She was only the one who was the scam, and whenever she used to do any operation, it was like, for example, like what you were telling me about the knee operation. They were
Hmm.
doing a knee operation, but eventually they tried to do something which did not work out, and the person passed away.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And they'll give any false news, like the patient could not take it or this that, and also a lot of scams happen in the hospitals and as well, and that is the most scariest part. Forget about ghosts and this that and that. This is the most scariest part about hospital. So there is a proper movie about it called as Bali. So go watch it. Quite interesting.
How do you spell it? Bali.
Yeah, Bali. It's like called has in Marathi has like a child.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
Wow.
think so. I think so. If any Maharashtrian is watching this, then please let me know if I am correct or if I'm right. So yeah, anything more about creepy hospitals or
But I
anything?
think this was not a horror thing.
Yeah,
This was more like corruption rather than horror.
yeah, kind of, yeah. But they begin the movie only like it is a horror thing. Like you can see the ghost and this and that,
Mm-hmm.
blah
So
blah
the
blah.
setting is basically horror, but then the reveal is that okay, it was just a big scam.
Yeah. Actually, there is one more character where there is a nurse which is being seen has a ghost and this that and all, and they can see the nurse and the kid, and then after that they come to know that that nurse actually was working in that hospital, and then the nurse realized that this is a big scam, and she tried to go and tell the cops, but this Dr. Anjali and every whoever, they killed her and they dumped her body there. So that is why her spirit keeps roaming around, and she was trying to warn people.
Oh, so it is horror based, but not out and out horror, I guess.
Not out and out, but I really love the movie and how the setting is and how the horror is. And towards the end, see, eventually, any story, if it is a horror, love, or whatever, there should be like a moral of the story or like some message or something you learn from the story. So I really love that.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. And it's hard to do that in this genre. Because in such genres, it's hard to have a moral as such. It's more like, okay, this happened. I mean, some I mean, there's a ghost, there's a haunting, someone got possessed, it's done. It's hard to kind of combine a ethic based story into this.
Hmm. Yeah. Anyways, we will move ahead to the next part. If people who are watching this from the starting of the stream I had asked a question, which is the most haunted hospital in India and specifically from West Bengal. And now it's time to reveal the answer. And the answer is Downhill. The hospital name is Downhill or Daw Hill, whatever you can call it. It is in West Bengal, and there are rumors, and it is said to be haunted by the ghost of a headless boy who is often seen and heard in the corridors of the hospital.
Oh my God.
The
Sounds
hospital,
like from a horror movie.
yeah, the hospital's eerie atmosphere and numerous reported paranormal activities have continued to its reputation as the most haunted hospital in India. Not much information about this, but yes, downhill in West Bengal. Anyone, whoever is there from West Bengal, let us know if you have any information about it or if this is even true. Because again, I'm reading from a website,
Wait, but
and
is this hospital fully functional or is just some abandoned hospital?
I really don't know because it's just written there. Let me let me check. How would you pronounce DOW? Dow or down? Dow.
How do you pronounce what? D-O?
W.
Dow.
Dow. So it's Dow, not down. Sorry, Dow Hill, West Bengal is. There are a lot of articles on this, but I'm not sure if it is still functioning or no. The Times of India also has an article on this. But then I don't know. I feel that headless boy in the hospital, like why? Quite quite uh, confusing. The cursed forest and the ghost of a headless boy. Oh, the hospital is somewhere inside the forest area. Headless ghost of a young boy walking and disappearing into the forest. People have reported cases of being followed and constantly watched over by an unseen entity. Some have even seen a red eye peering at them. There is a ghost of a woman dressed in grey. Such bad is the air of this forest that unfortunate visitors either lost their mental balance or end up killing themselves.
Okay, this is definitely not a functional hospital. No, with this kind of extreme.
Yeah, somewhere it is in the forest and the hospital, and who will also go inside the
I was
forest?
I was just gonna say, why would any sane person visit a hospital in the middle of a forest?
Yeah.
Imagine you're like, you're sick. Where shall I go today? I am going to go to a hospital in the middle of the forest.
Yes, so I can breathe fresh air and I can and heal.
And next thing you know, I'll be breathing fresh air forever.
But there is one kind of I don't know what you can call it. It either it is like a healing place or what or something, but it is by a government hospital. So my father, for a couple of years, he lived in a place called as Panchgani. Okay, this is in Maharashtra itself.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to Panchgani.
Yeah, and my grandfather was working there. That is why my dad was there for a couple of years. He was working as a chef. And what was I supposed to say? I was supposed to say, yeah, I was supposed to say about this thing. Yeah. So once when I got my school holidays, he took me to Panchgani just to show where he was schooling and XYZ. And he
Mhm.
took me to one of his friend's place where she's not a doctor, but she's appointed by the government hospital and she has given her place on rent. And this place is only for patients who have something, some sickness of lungs, or I don't know, who might be like at the last stage and they are dying of cancer or something. So all patients come there, and they maybe, I don't know how to tell this, but maybe it's their last moment there.
Mm-hmm.
And my father was telling me about this, and I told like I can't find anything fascinating because there is no structure, there is no wall, there's nothing. It's just like an open place. So he told me that just wait for 10 minutes, breathe here, and then once you come back to the city, and then you start breathing, you'll know the difference. So basically, this was somewhere inside the forest or somewhere on top area. I really don't know
So
where.
of course the air will be super fresh and
So the
clean.
air, yeah, and she had only trees, and there was only one small, the olden type of house. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
one house, and all old people were there around, and she was like the caretaker, or whatever, who used to
Mm-hmm.
just take care of them to cook food and this, that, and the air quality was so fresh that even I, felt that after going out of the place. Obviously, when you're there, you might not understand, but that was a place where it was quite interesting. So I was just remembering that place because it's about this Dow Hill hospital in the forest. I would to never go in the forest.
Yeah, that's quite creepy that you have a hospital in the middle of the forest. But then
Well,
again, back in the day, that must have been how it was, right? Because there weren't really enough, there wasn't enough roads, construction was not there, nothing was there back in the day. So of course, it would be that hospitals existed in the middle of nowhere or in the middle of forest. Just that now the concept is for us very alien.
yeah, yeah. Maybe in that time that forest might be a normal road for them. You
Yeah.
never.
And for us now, it's like super alien, and we're looking at it as, oh my god, we would not do such a creepy thing.
Yeah.
But how do you feel in general when you visit hospitals? What is the kind of feeling that you get? Not, of course, when you are sick or something is happening to you. I meant that did you ever get an opportunity to feel the energy in a hospital when you're visiting to see somebody else?
So for me, it is very strange. Hospitals and funerals are the places where I don't like to go. I
Mm.
guess I am not comfortable, especially both hospitals and funerals. I just can't be there for very long. It gives me a very uncomfortable feeling. And just couple of months before, I had an operation because I had this kidney problem, this, that, and also I had this laser operation. And then couple of family members came for one day, and I myself was not comfortable because I really didn't wanted anyone to see me at that condition because I was extremely worse. Like the pain was insane. In fact, the doctor said that after a labor pain, this is the second worst pain you can ever get because the stone was like this big and it was moving from the kidney to down and it was stuck in the pipe or XYZ. So,
Oh my God.
but the interesting fact is that whenever I used to go to a hospital to take a family member, and by God's grace, I have never been to hospitals many times, once or twice, and not for like big reasons. And the problem here in Oman is you don't have small clinics or something. You just have an hospital. So if
Yeah.
you have fever also, or you're going to die also, you have to go to the hospital. So when I used to go, I used to feel very weird and I used to stand outside. I used to just tell, okay, you go meet the doctor, I'm waiting outside. But when I went for operation, I had gone in December, and then again in January, I had to go for another operation. Both the times I stayed there for 2 nights, uh, but I felt the most peaceful. Like I was in peace. I don't know because that was because of the medication, or I really don't know because half of the time I was sleeping because of the medicines was so powerful. But whenever I normally go, it gives me a very creepy. And in fact, I don't even go and visit anyone. Even someone has delivered a kid also, no, I don't like to go.
So you don't like the energy basically. It creeps you out.
No, no, I don't. Yeah, this creeps me out. It gives a very tiring energy. Like, it sucks in a lot of energy of mine when I go, especially funerals as well. It's both the feelings are the same,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that I feel that even on the bed, what you are sleeping and you're admitted, that very 1 week before or the very next day or something, someone must have been dead or something. So you don't know on which bed
Yeah,
you're sleeping.
yeah, that's true.
So it is creepy.
Also, have you do you know that hospitals can also be portals?
Is it? No, I really didn't know.
Yeah, because portals are basically energy, right? A portal is an energy. What do you call? What's the word for it? A portal is a ball of energy. You're opening up that portal basically.
Like a magnet.
Yeah, it's like a magnet which attracts different energy, and that is why they always say that you should so there are certain places that which can become portals, which is also explained in the Conjuring movies, right? I think it's Conjuring, or is it another series where they explain about portals and everything. So some places are portals where
Mhm.
the activity is such that it'll attract negative energy, and that is how you can correct a doorway. Yes.
Yeah, ORBS chasing doorway. Yeah.
Yeah, doorway. And hospitals can often be a portal, because in hospitals there is a lot of death and negative energy which fuels spirits from entering and bringing in creatures from the other world. So hospitals can become a portal if people actually try it.
Yeah, and the most common story what I heard about hospitals is the thing which you already mentioned, that one family member sees a patient, and then after that they realize that this patient already died maybe 1 hour before, 2 hours before. So this
Mhm.
has happened with the staff who's working there and with the family members who's working there. But the crazy part about hospitals is, let's assume if you are going in the middle of the night to take care of another patient, and obviously if you are going at night time, you need to be awake. And if you
Yeah,
go out and if you're just walking in the corridor, it will be so hard to tell who is real and who is not real. You will not even know. Maybe a ghost might be walking just beside you and you might think it's a patient. So maybe like that also, things might be happening, you never know.
that's true. That's true. Considering that it's a place where death is going, I mean, there's so much death, you just never know.
Yeah. Anyways, talking about hospitals, this, that, and all, I have another story, but I'll just try to keep it very short and simple. So this has happened to one of my family members, and this has happened during COVID time. So it was I think so. It was in the month of May 2020
Hmm.
when they realized that so the characters in the story is two characters, husband and wife, and they have a daughter.
In Oman or in India?
No, no, no. This is in Pune itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some cousins in Pune. So, and the husband is a professor in a nursing college where he teaches and he trains nurses, and the wife is just like a housewife. But they all come from the background of doctors and nurses and medical and this, that, and all. So the husband was no, he is a photographer, so he used to click a lot of pictures. So now this is a very important part of the story, and it is, you learn also something from this part of the story. Whenever you click pictures of anyone, okay, you will see in the picture, like, you'll get to see like a red eye kind of thing uh, in between of the eyes, and if it is not a red eye, and if it is a white eye, means it is a warning. It is something that you need to worry. And this happens specifically only to kids. maybe below 6 or 7 years old. So he clicked a lot of pictures of the kid, and he realized that normally when you click pictures, the red eye comes on both the eyes. But now the white eye was only coming on one side. It was like a patch. So first we thought, okay, maybe it's like the camera fault or this, that, and all. But then we realized that no, something is wrong, and the kid was not able to look at the parents, in the sense if they are trying to talk to the kid and trying to give her something, if they're giving her on the right hand side, she's putting her hand on the left hand side. So they kind of uh, understood that maybe her vision is not right and they need to see a doctor. So during peak of COVID, they go to Pune to some of the hospitals and they did the test, and they realized that they have, I mean, the kid has uh, one kind of a cancer which is called as retinoblastoma.
Oh,
And this,
I've heard of this.
yeah, this cancer is just in the ball.
Retina of the eye, yeah.
Yeah. So now they had two options: either you go to Hyderabad or either you go to Mumbai for this treatment. Because obviously, Pune, wherever they went, they did not have the facilities, so they suggested these two places. So they decide to go to Mumbai. Now they don't have anyone. They have people in Mumbai, but obviously this was during COVID time, so they had to stay somewhere close to the hospital, this, that, and all. So I know it is not so much related to a haunted hospital, but it is related to medical and it is related to the place in and around the hospital. Uh, so they got some rooms. So basically, they are Protestants, and there was a Protestant church which which used to give some rooms for Protestants if they come to Mumbai or if they are in need or this, that, and all. So somewhere in town, somewhere in Bombay side, there was some rooms which were given to them, and this was again a building which was built during British time. So front side is the church and back side is like the rooms and the kitchen and XYZ. They had common washrooms, this, that, and all. I think so. It was uh, like a boarding school kind of thing, and because of COVID, no one was staying there, so they gave the rooms. So throughout the day, they used to be with the kid. They used to go through the chemotherapy, all this process, this, that, and all. And in the evening, they used to be at home. So now, on the next door, there was a lawyer who was from some Delhi or somewhere, and he had just come to Mumbai because he was fighting some case for a client, and the client was in Mumbai. So they became friends, and they started talking. Obviously, during COVID time, not a lot of people are there. You could not meet a lot of people. So they were, since neighbors, they started having a conversation. Okay, where are you from? How's things? Blah blah blah. And one fine day, the lawyer told him something which was quite creepy. So he told that, in the middle of the night, there is one lady. She is like half burned, and she's dressed up uh, in like an British kind of gown, and she's coming to me and she's saying, "Help me! I need your help." So first of all, like when this guy, the husband, heard this, he did not kind of believe that that something like this even happens, because he comes from that non-believer kind of thing where there is no ghost or XY. So he was saying like, no, maybe you might be just dreaming or you might be just imagining because of COVID. People are just stuck inside the house. People are not meeting anyone, so they have started imagining a lot of things. So he just said, okay, okay, no problem. We'll have another conversation, this, that, and that. But that thing was there in this guy's mind, the husband's mind. He was confused, like, is it true? It is not true. Then after a couple of weeks, again they had a conversation, and again the lawyer kept saying, that she came again. Every night she comes to my room, and she just sits and she only keeps telling me that help me, help me. And the thing is like her face is half burned, and he does not know what to do. And if he's going to the common washroom or if he's going to the kitchen area, he can always see her there. So again, this guy said, "Arey yaar, you might be just imagining. Just relax. Don't worry. Nothing is wrong." Until and unless something happened to them, they were thinking that no, it is kind of just in the lawyer's mind. It's just an imagination. But when something happened with them, they realized that okay, whatever the lawyer was saying, it is the fact. So what actually happened with them? It's like after a couple of months, because they at least stayed for 2 years there, because the treatment was very long, and they had left their job, this, that, and all, and they had got some funds and they got support from people with charity and all. So they were well to do in terms of financially to take care of the kid. After a couple of months, when the lawyer went and this, that, and all, and that thought also, went away from the husband and wife. The husband, as I told you, there is a common washroom. So the husband just goes to the washroom, and then when he is done with the washroom and when he's walking back in the evening, he notices the same female, and that's when they, uh, you know, uh, you know, join this and that and X Y Z, and then they realize that no, whatever the lawyer was saying, it is kind of true. He did not react or he did not get scared, but obviously, like the very next day, they left from there because he said, obviously, no one would stay there. After knowing something is there and they have seen it, no one would stay there. So they left, and then things went back to normal. They stayed somewhere else, this, that, and all, and then they came back to Pune, this, that, and all, and then they were having a conversation with one of the pastors. The pastor is a person who's like a priest, and they said, when we went to Mumbai during the COVID time, this happened. And then after that, the pastor told them something. So obviously, pastors, they have a community. They know that this church is here, that church is there, Mumbai, Pune, wherever. So that pastor from Pune knew about the history. So before the Protestant community had taken this church, it was like a British building or whatever. I don't know what was there before, but it was owned by the British, and then after that, the government basically gave lease to the Protestant community. So from that time, people have noticing. This is during, you can say, like 50, 60, 70 years before. From that time, before it was even a church, people have noticed that there is a woman who is half burned in a British kind of a gown, in an English gown, where she's only telling everyone, "Help me, help me, help me." So what people believe that maybe Britishers used to stay in this building and someone has burned her alive or this, that, and also no one knows the actual story, but it was not only the lawyer who saw that lady. It was many people at different times saw that lady. When this guy told me the story, I thought maybe because the lawyer told him, it must have registered in his mind and he might be also imagining. But what the pastor said after that, it's not only this family or that family. The pastor in that community keeps hearing from different people that they have seen this kind of a lady. So yeah, it was not totally hospital related, but this was just behind some hospital which they had got a place to stay. So it was creepy. But obviously nothing actually happened to them. But yeah, that was the end of the story. Swati fell off to sleep. No?
No, no, it was quite long. So I was like, wow, okay, that's a long story.
Eventually, when I'm talking, it eventually becomes long. That is why I have to note it down and then just tell it on point to point. Otherwise, I go here, there, everywhere.
No, no, it was an interesting story for sure. It was just a long story.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. We are come towards the end of the stream. Swati, do you have anything to say, or should we end the stream?
I had a question for your previous story because you
Yes.
said again it's a personal story, right?
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, I mean it's real. It's not
Yeah.
fabric. Yeah. What is your opinion about all of this?
When he was telling me, obviously I kept asking him questions, and I assumed that it was his imagination, because obviously when you go to a new place which you're not familiar to and someone tells you that okay, there is something like this,
Hmm.
that will be somewhere back in your mind. Even after 1 month or 2 months, you will start imagining, maybe, you might, maybe your mind can play tricks with you. And especially it was during COVID time, especially what they were going through with their daughter. So many things were going in their mind. So maybe I assume that shayad ho sakta hai ki they're imagining. But then when he was having a conversation with a pastor, and when the pastor also reconfirmed that okay, it's not only you, or it's not only your family who have witnessed that, there are other people also who have stayed in that vicinity, has witnessed this particular lady. Not, it's not like there are hundreds of ghosts or whatever, I don't know, but this particular lady, half burned, and only she keeps saying, please help me, please help me, please help me. That's it.
Hmm. Okay. No, that is true because he already was informed of something and that could
Hmm.
have been in his mind.
Yeah. So yeah, the first half of the story, even I believe that okay, uh, it is your imagination, because see, very simple how the mind plays trick is like if you watch a scary movie, especially if you go to a theater and you watch it, at least for 2 3 days, even if you want to get scared, you will get scared by imagining the same ghost what is there in the movie. So that mind, your mind is so powerful that it will start imagining that similar kind of ghost. So I also assume that okay, maybe it might be the same thing, but it is not only one person telling that they have seen this half-born lady. There are different kind of people telling that they have seen this half-born lady. And but even though there are stories, the church has not uh, blocked that floor or something, or closed that room or whatever. It's just open for people because they charge bare minimum. Like if you go to a hotel or something, obviously the price is very high. Theirs is very extremely bare minimum for the Protestant people who are in need, and especially who come for this hospital, any treatment and all, because it's just near the just near the hospital. So that is why. What
Hmm.
What do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think so too that it could be exaggerated a little bit in the sense that the entire story, there are parts which were believable, but some parts felt like seems a bit exaggerated. Like, this could have just been a play of the mind.
Which part you felt it was over the top?
Not over the top. What I mean is like, some parts were not that believable. Like, by that, I don't mean he's making it up. I just mean that your mind can play tricks on you.
Yeah, that also can be a reason.
Hmm. Could be that. Also, because even in previous stories where, like I mentioned, you see loved ones, you see loved ones in hospitals after they've died. Like they've already died, but you're seeing their spirit, or you're seeing them and you didn't know that they died. That also could be your mind playing tricks on you because it's your loved one. You're not able to accept their death, so you see them and you believe that it's real.
Yeah, that is for sure. And the interesting part is, especially in the hospitals, when a person dies, they themselves don't know that they are dead. At least for, couple of while or few days or whatever. Because I've read somewhere that it becomes very hard to accept as a person that you're dead and you're not there in that other world. You're gone to a different world right now. So it's very hard to believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite
Okay, so I
interesting.
think we did quite a bit for haunted hospitals today.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I think so. We should end the stream, and if Aviral is still there, just send me a WhatsApp message and let me know what can be improved, what we can do. Since you can be the moderator, help us understand what we can do in the live or XYZ. So, anyways, thank you so much. And whoever is new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, please don't forget to like it. Also follow Swati Rao. Her podcast name is Desi Horror Podcast, so her links are there in the description, so go follow her as well, follow me as well. And my channel update is that I have started True Crime as well. And just 2 3 days before, I did a episode on the Sheena Bora murder case, which is Indrani Mukherjee. A new Netflix documentary is also there. So based on that, I have created an episode. Then I am doing my shorts daily. I upload some shorts related to paranormal, and then every week there is a pre-recorded horror story narrated as well. So this is my update. In terms of Swati, do you have any update, any new episode coming out?
So actually, I was going to mention it in the beginning when we started the live, but we had some other stuff to talk about. So I was in Morocco last week, which is why we didn't do the live. So
Okay.
I spoke to a couple of locals in Morocco about local folklore and ghost stories, etc. Because I was anyway there, I thought I should find out, and I found some very interesting tales about local Moroccan ghost stories and folklore, which I will release on my podcast, and I will also talk about this in the next live
Yes, why not?
because it's connected to jinns again, which you have spoken about extensively.
So, what say next week we can keep this topic?
I mean, we can keep this topic because I visited and I know about it, but you want to add further Middle Eastern folk tales, or what would you want to do?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, we will add. We will add it. Don't worry. I'll message you, and then we can just
Yes,
decide on the topic.
and our listeners can also definitely pitch in because there is so much when it comes to folklore and ghost stories in the Middle East. I mean, Morocco is not Middle East, it's in Africa, but a lot of folklore and ghost stories that I heard were connected to the Middle East
Oh, interesting.
because
So
it's an
yeah,
Islamic nation, so they have a lot of shared history.
yes. So next week live stream will be about this. Now this guy ORBS chaser, guy or girl, whatever.
It's
Story
orbs,
about
ORBS, orbs chaser.
Orbs chaser. Story about black eye kids. ये क्या है? What is this? I really don't know. By the
He's
way,
the
if
legend on
if
Insta.
any if anyone is there on the stream and they want to join in, the link is just pinned in the comment. So just feel free to join in. If you guys have any stories to share or if you have anything, please feel free to join in. So that's the update,
Right.
Swati.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week with Middle Eastern folklore and ghost stories.
Yes. And then you guys can see me on my next live, which I do on Sunday, which is a late night horror show. This format is more conversation based format where we just talk about few things. But Sunday is just I just play stories back to back, stories from my channel and Swati's channel. So I keep playing. So if you're not doing anything at 11 o'clock Indian Standard Time, just put your YouTube channel on with my channel in the background and you can just listen to some stories. So yeah, I think so. We are come to the end of the stream, and also I have a suggestion before we end the stream. Yeah, next week we will be talking about this, but couple of streams we should pick a topic and we should have a debate. I feel that will be more interesting. Maybe about a particular case, and then we can try to dig deep about that particular case and try to see, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know what. different point of view, and we can try to have a debate. I feel that will be more interesting for the listeners as well. What do you feel?
Yeah, yeah, good idea. We should do that.
Yeah. So next week we will do about the folklore and everything about this Morocco, right?
Yep, Morocco.
Yeah, and then the following week we will pick a paranormal case, and then we will have a debate about it.
Okay, so I will see everybody next week. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.